Hi, this is Greg in Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at the second Kickstarter in the WarLayer series called WarLayer 3D Printable Terrain Orbital Drop. This Kickstarter is by Andrew Askadal, and for the second campaign he's added Dustin Ross to the team. The Kickstarter is already fully funded. If you're worried about it's a little close to the holidays for a new Kickstarter, this Kickstarter as of today has 35 days to go. So there's plenty of time to go past the holidays if you want to pledge after the beginning of the new year or stuff like that. But I just wanted to take a little time, maybe 20-30 minutes of your time, and show off this terrain. At the end of this video, I've taken about 40-45 pictures of this terrain and the previous campaign's terrain for the WarLayer and set up an entire 4x6 WarLayer mat. I put my Ultramarines on there. I put my Thousand Suns forces on there and took a ton of pictures. And I'll let that run at the end and just kind of put some music on top of it so you can check it out at the end to see what it looks like off in front of the camera and actually on the game table itself. So 9 months ago, Andrew ran his first WarLayer Kickstarter. I had made a comment on one of his videos that said this stuff looked awesome, and I will definitely show it off on my channel. He was nice enough, and he sent me a bunch of files before the campaign ended. I printed it off, and I threw up my first official Kickstarter terrain video. So 9 months has gone by, and I think 9 or 10 videos later from other designers, and here we are back at the beginning again. Andrew's a special guy. I talk to him multiple times a week, so it's nice to have developed that relationship with him and, to go back from just an occasional email like I have with some people to, somebody that I would call a friend on there. So without further ado, I'm going to start off a couple pieces here in the middle and then work on the outside and then end up with the pipe system last. And then we'll go to the pictures out in the other room. So first thing I want to talk about, if you're subscribed to the channel and you've seen my last couple videos, I love the WarLayer crates because basically this is my benchy. This is how I test each new printer I get. I print off these 3 pieces right here. And so as part of the new campaign, you get a ruin crate, which is right here. And so this, they just melted off the front of that. This prints, with no support, and that's something important to remember. No piece on this table prints with supports on there. No piece from the previous campaign needs support. Trust it. You're going to load it up in your slicer. You're going to be like, does that need supports? Nope. Andrew test prints everything he designs, and everything I've printed for him, nothing has ever needed support. So that's just something to keep in mind because that does get asked on the Facebook group every now and then. So ruin crate. It's a good looking crate. You can never have enough crates. I mean, if you're doing a sci-fi campaign, your own Kickstarter, make some crates because everybody loves the crates. The next thing I'll talk about is the landing pad over here. And so this is 3 corners. Each quadrant quarter is held up by this piece right here. And again, this prints with no supports on there, just prints straight up just like that. And it uses, you see these nubs on the top. Well, that's what the basis of the whole WarLayer system is. And I'm trying to find the other flat panel. But here, let me take it off here. So if you look at the bottom, you see how this grid spacing is? That's made so all these pieces can interlock, stack, and work together within the same system. It's a really, really good system. In the first Kickstarter campaign, the very first set of models, and you'll see a few of those on the table, did not have this grid system. And then he re-released all the models, or released a bunch of new models with this grid system as part of it. And it was great. And he released that for free to all the backers. So he just wanted to make it right, and he was kind of future-proofing what his designs were doing and stuff like that. So, this is just, a look and to know that everything that you're buying here, or if you do the double pledge, is all going to work together. So just to give you an idea on size, that's a Stormhawk Interceptor that's sitting on there, and this landing pad as is would easily hold a Storm Raven also. And so, but he's also made these panels that are like this. And so these can go in between and go around, and I can make a pad about as big as this mat that's underneath me. These are a couple test pieces. These aren't in the same scale. They have since been fixed. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what else that you can add to this landing pad. So you can have like an open cargo door. You can do all kinds of stuff with these panels, pipes, connectors, and everything else I'm going to show. So this is strong too. You know, you can put as few or as many of these things under there that you want. You know, you can make it higher by using a you can make it higher up by using one of these, and this is from the previous campaign. This is the other style tower. Or you can leave it short to the ground, kind of like it is now, like I have it. And what's nice is it comes, you know, this just comes off the bottom. So at the end of the day, when you're picking up your table, you know, or you've taken a whole bucket of this stuff down to the game shop, you take that panel off the top. You don't have to glue this stuff together. I mean, right there, boom, storage, you know, nice. You know, you take these will stack on top of each other. So, you know, most likely you'll have one of the big, you know, plastic totes on there. That's what I use. And you can just stack this stuff together, you know, one on top of each other, and it's going to stay pretty good inside those totes as you're moving it around. But that's one of the great things about the WarLayer terrain, is that it packs up nice. You know, it does have some bigger cylinder pieces that you'll see out in the snapshots at the end. But for the most part, it's not all like that. So you can take these small pieces and keep containers with connectors and stuff like that. And it gives you the ability to reconfigure your game table every time you play. The next thing I want to show off are these vats. So you've got, I'll bring these over here. This is 4 examples that we have. And so right here is your turbine generator. It's flat on the bottom. And it has 4 pipe connectors that come off the side. And these pipe connectors are all compatible with the pipe system that you see here. So if you wanted to bring this up, bring this up in the air and run pipes down, you could do that with no problem. Here's a full vat. And this version of the vat on the bottom is open like this. So you can print this in translucent filament and then put a tea light under there and light it up if you paint the outside like black or something like that and leave this part translucent. It looks great. I'll pop a picture up here that he has on the campaign page where you can do that. These things all stack. So if you wanted to, they lock right together because they have the WarLayer pin system as part of these. So you can make a stack high like a power generator and have pipes going from here to here and stuff like that. This is one of the ruin pieces. There are lots of ruin pieces in this campaign. I just got a file drop the other night that like doubled the amount of ruin pieces that I had before for my test prints. I just haven't printed them all out yet. So this is one of those ruin pieces. That's a vat with the stuff leaking out the front, and that looks really good when it's lit up also. And then you can put this walkway on top, and these walkways have the pins right here that you can take one of these, which is your walkway, and you can put it on there and go from vat to vat with it. Let's see, this one has a flat one. Where is, okay. I got some stuff behind me too. So you're worried about, oh, it's wide open, you know, you don't get any cover up on there. Sure you do. You can put this version of the walkway on top, and then that way your sniper's got cover and stuff like that. So great system. Like I said, all these vats stacked together. Even the ruined one, it's got the pinhole so you can have it like it got hit, you know, from a las cannon from across the board or something like that, and it's just oozing out liquid. So I'll put that right there. Next thing I'll talk about is the war walls, and that's right here. Nice big walls. Stops that turn 1 las cannon from across the table from hitting your predator tank that you're trying to hide in that back corner so it can get past that first turn. You know, again, done in a WarLayer system. Oops. I can pop that walkway right off the top. So if I don't want a walkway on there, I don't have to put it there. Or I just take and put the walkway on, and you'll see in the pictures I've got a dev squad on top of this out on the other table. So it's pretty neat. It's just not straight walls either. So this right here, this is a 45-degree corner. And then I could take this wall and I could put it up just like that. Let me move it over here. Maybe we can see it better. So we can do that. And then you could run one down the other side, and basically you've got a channel that you got to go down through. So you got a heavy piece of armor you want to move down the table. You put a few of these on there that forces them to go down through a channel, you want to get that piece of heavy armor out there, you may pay the price, so it's ruin pieces again. Like I said, all these walls, there's like 2 or 3 different types of ruins on here. So this is one, and don't forget you can mirror this too, so it'll go the other direction if you want pieces from both sides. This is a hole in the center, and there's one more ruin wall piece that I've seen, and there may be more than that that's in there right now too, that goes down the other way. But don't forget that you can mirror both sides of this and get a really awesome looking effect. So as to war walls, it's nice. These are nice, big, thick walls. The previous campaign has some shorter walls in it. Kind of similar design in the front, just much shorter on there. These will easily hide, your Vindicator tanks, your Predator tanks, and some of your other bigger pieces that may be on the table. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the pipe system. So I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move these like this. If all this campaign had was this, I would buy it without a second thought. I've had so much fun with the pipes. And Andrew, all the time I'm printing pipes and printing connectors and doing this and that. It's great. It's great because you've got these buckets of connectors, and it gives you all these options for configuring your battlefield for your game. It's got all these different types of pipes, and this is only the straight pipes in one version of a 90 degree. I still have a whole stack of short 90s and S-turns and all kinds of crazy stuff that I can print out to add to this system. But for right now, I wanted to start with the straight pipes and go ahead and print those and just play around with some configurations on there. So, this right here is a newer piece. The pipe they just fit right down in there. It's not a big deal at all. You can put these around, and you can use these like power generators or nodes or something like that. And then even over here, you've got this 90 degree vertical, that you're picking up, or I can shorten it up if I wanted to, and put it back down like that. So it gives you all these options of things that you can do with these pipes. And it's sturdy too. I'm picking this up, so you don't have to, be so tender that you want to pick something up and move it around your game table. It will. So if you wanted to stick this piece away like this in your bucket, if you have room, it's not a big deal. You can set it up really quick the next time. So these are a newer piece right here. He's got a great looking base because you can take these and add one to the bottom, and it adds like another tower, kind of like a different version of this. So it gives you a different look, a look that you don't, that you're not using the same thing every time. So let me pull these off to the side. Push that forward a little. You got this. He's got stacking connectors of all different types. So these are just 2-way stackers, and over here is a 4-way stack. So I could run pipes going out in all these different directions. And all you do is you just lift them off, because with the WarLayer system, it has those pins in it, and they just nest right inside of each other. So if you want to run your game table with just one level, and you want to put some places where people can hop over without taking a dangerous terrain check or anything like that, you can put those stairs down that go over top of those pipes. If you want to make this 2 levels high, like this, so your dev squad is hiding behind, these Promethium pipes, which is good and bad. You can do it like that. Or if you want to make basically a pipe wall, you're playing Necromunda, and you want to make these channels of pipes that things have to go down, and get away from that 2D board and stuff and get back onto the 3D battlefield. This right here, you print out a bucket of these, and it's a modern day version of Lincoln Logs. It really is. It's so nice, and this stuff goes together so well, and so when this all gets painted up, and that's a thing I want to do in 2018 is actually print some of this terrain for all these videos too that's coming up. Definitely going to do that, because I'm going to start here with the WarLayer system and work my way through. So great stuff. The pipe terrain, oh man, it's just tremendous. Next thing, talking about the pipes, him and I were talking on chat, and I said, hey, these platforms, they have single posts that come up in the other campaign that'll hold them up, And I was like, man, it'd be nice if we could run the pipes up together and make it stable. And that night, Andrew came up with this. So it's got a top piece with the pins. It's got a bottom part with the sockets. You just put pipes in between and then take and snap your grid on top. You got different length pipes on this one right here. You know, it's got the same grid on top. I could stack this like this, and I could keep on going. And this is solid. It's not going anywhere, you know, so you don't have to worry about it tipping over or stability or anything like that. Talking about, let me move this somewhere. Talking about compatibility with the previous, you know, system. I've shown this tower a couple times now. You know, guess what? There's the holes. Line it up, click it in, it's ready to go. I just put it over here like this. I grabbed some of these bridges. I printed off a bunch of 1x1s. I mean, these are 1x3s. He has 2x3s, 3x3s. He's got all different configurations of these bridges, and they're in a different, you see that texture on the green is different than the texture on the Urban Fossil, so it just makes it, you know, gives you, again, more variety. And so then, how far back are they? You can put that like that. You know, so now you got a bridge coming across. And then if you take some stairs from the previous campaign, let me move this, see where these are. Right there. Put this up here like that. Now we've got a pathway going across. So now, again, if you're not a backer of the previous campaign, and those that are backers know what you can do with this stuff, you can start taking walls. And I'm just going to set these on here. You know, if you find you got some stability issues or something like yours, you could put a little piece of that blue tack, you know, in one of the holes and then press it on here. And that way you don't have to glue them or anything like that. Oops. Why am I missing? There we go. And then, you know, it's also got the short pieces. So I can come over here, you know, and you can start doing this. Let me take that one off there and put it up here. And I could do this. And then we got more. So now, oops, that's why the blue tack come in and my hands are shaking like crazy right now too. So like I said, I'm just resting these on here. So a little piece of blue tack on there will keep them right on top of your thing. And during the gameplay, you won't have to worry about it. And like I said, it's got a 2x3 bridge option and different options like that. So, but you start to see a game table taking shape that is your own, and you're not on the ground floor. That's one of the biggest things that I see is I'm like, you get comments that, you know, 3D printing isn't there for game terrain. I way beg to differ. Maybe you looked at 3D printing 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or something like that, and then, yeah, maybe I can agree that you needed a high-end printer to do that. But everything that's here in Urban Fossil was done on a $329 printer. The blue stuff was done on a Maker Gear M2. Well, this blue right here, this Matter Hackers, this more translucent blue was done on a CR10 Mini. You know, that is a $300 printer or less, depending on which coupon code you use. And so you don't need thousands of dollars of a printer. You can take this terrain right here, and basically, if you printed just WarLayer terrain alone to start with, and put it in a bucket to fill out your whole 4x6 or 4x8 table, and that's just not for 40K. It's a 40K, War Machine, Infinity, RPG. You know, you got all these sci-fi RPGs coming out. So if you're an RPG player and you've got a 3D printer or you have access to a 3D printer, this stuff is awesome. How would you like to play on this versus writing with a wet erase on a square checkerboard on your game night? You know, I definitely would like, you know, to run a nice one-shot adventure through something like this. So it gets your game off the one level. You know, when you got a table that's full of nothing but cut foam and PVA glue and sand on it. Well, yeah, that works for some things, but I think we are way beyond those days with the 3D printing. Now you're fighting on the second level. You're fighting on the third level. You've got scout snipers that are, you know, if I take this piece right here, you know, and I run a bridge from here to here, and there's ladders in the system. I just don't have them printed. I've got a ladder coming up. My scouts come in, they hop here, they go here. They're running towards that objective to secure it. That's the whole theater of the mind. I mean, that's what makes, for us, 40K so cinematic and such a great game. You know, I can take this and slide it around and run it underneath, you know, and you start looking at different options that you can set up, you know, and all I'm doing is moving a few things and completely changing the look, you know, of what we got. And I can run a war wall around the outside. So that is the WarLayer system in a nutshell right here. I mean, this is such a great system, and this is, you know, I bought the first stuff. I'll jump in on this campaign even though I already have all the files on there. I mean, it's just a great campaign, and Andrew and Dustin are going to be great people to support going forward. So stick around for a little bit. I'm going to run about 30-40 pictures of the game table out there. I've got some Thousand Suns and I've got some Ultramarines out there, and just it's a different setup than just, you know, right here in front of the camera. But if you're a 40K player, this is a no-brainer. If you have access somehow to a 3D printer, or you own a 3D printer, jump on this campaign. The prices are tremendous. You know, if you want an individual piece that you see from the earlier campaigns, they are for sale. But your money for, you know, you pay $9 for one piece, or you can spend 30 or 40 and get 70 or 80 pieces. There is a lot of stuff in the current campaign and the previous campaign that you can print. It'll keep your tables different for a long time. You know, and I profile a lot of designers on this channel, you know, but my tables primarily are WarLayer. Terrain goes down first, and then I filter it in with other stuff. Terrain for Print's got some really good stuff that I put out there, but I base my multi-level fighting, and I guess that's the key. Here's where your multi-level fighting comes in, and here's where Necromunda. I mean, this little spot right here could be the start of a Necromunda scenario. You know, I could put more walkways this way, and now we're fighting on 2 levels. I could go up another level with stairs, and we could be fighting on a 3rd level. Just depends how much you want to print, and or work at it in stages on there. But just wanted to show this off. It's worth showing off. I've had to redo this video a few times because I completely screwed up a setting on my mixer, you know, but anything worth doing, especially this, is absolutely worth doing twice. So Andrew's a great guy. Glad to call him a friend. I haven't met Dustin or talked to him yet, but he's, you know, part of this campaign also. So thanks to him for what he's doing, and jump on this WarLayer stuff. You know, it's just getting better. Every time I'm putting out a video, it's just getting better, and the designs are better and things are better. And remember, none of this prints with supports. You just load the file up, slice it, put it on your printer, and put it on your table. You know, a $329 printer did, you know, 70% of the stuff you see in front of me. And you cannot tell me that foam cut terrain looks better than this. There's no way that it does, or give you the type of options that you have with this. So links to the campaign are below. Lots of pictures to follow. And if you're new to the channel, if you're your first time here, go ahead and subscribe and check out some of the previous videos. Lots of designers are featured on here. And and I do mostly tabletop terrain. I do have a laser SLA printer that I've done videos for, that I hope to get more videos more frequent for on here. That's a different beast on working with, because the videos are a little different. But I love this stuff. I try to game as much as I can on the weekends, you know, and I'm trying to put out videos at least, you know, every 7 to 10 days. My granddaughter was born at the beginning of the month, so I kind of took the beginning of the month off, but we're hitting holidays, so I should have some extra time to get some videos out. But wanted to lead with this one. You got plenty of time on the campaign. It's already funded. The stretch goals are being knocked out on there. So stop by the comment section of the Kickstarter campaign. If this video brought you there, let them know. And I appreciate you stopping by, and please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you. See you in the next video.